Let's get it started.
Let's get it started.
I
like how those slow.
I love that.
Creative Takeover, episode 4. Take 1. Oh. Creative Takeover, episode 4.
Take 2, episode 4.
Take 2.
Both.
Welcome to Creative Takeover. This is the only podcast on the net where we are empowering you to own your impact as a creative entrepreneur. As always, I'm Art the Poet, lovely co-host
Caitlin Elizabeth.
And with us today, we have some very special guests. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, and then we're just going to hop into it.
What's up? I'm XL Dub, local artist out here, also your local bouncer.
I'm Tonni. Hi guys. Also a local artist, whether it comes to drinking, speaking, all the things. So yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
No problem. Y'all been doing a lot of great things in the community here at Ultra Flat Black. So we definitely wanted to have y'all on here. We had Don on here before.
Yeah.
And now we have y'all here. And y'all also have a podcast called Ultra Flat Black Podcast.
Yeah.
So y'all are doing a lot out here in these streets.
We are. We're always moving.
Yeah. Well, and one of the reasons that we started doing this podcast is just to talk about how art entrepreneurship can be really daunting, but how we can bring people together and own our impact.
Yeah.
I love that. Like I said, we're just going to jump into it. We're just going to hit y'all with some questions. Simplest question is, X, we're going to start with you.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Always a bouncer.
What's
mentality.
You got it. What's up, brother?
Like, what's up? Your voice got super deep like that.
It's like I think we sing it together and we're like talking over.
Could be, I don't know, bro. I go high and low, man. Shit, my voice be cracking. I'm 32 and I still cracking my voice.
You be cracking?
Yeah.
Get some lotion, man. You be crusty. You cracking, right?
I got out of the shower a while ago. I turned white as hell. I was like, I need all the lotion.
Comes with being black.
It really does. I'm actually down on camera. Like, yeah, we can play like tic-tac-toe on my arm. But anyway, X, tell us who you are, what you do, and where people can check you out, because they need to check out your music.
I appreciate you. Yes, I'm XL Dub. I just, I'm out in the city supporting artists, being an artist myself, and keeping people safe. It's what I do. Keep people safe at multiple venues, working security, things like that. I'm out at music videos with these other artists that, just need some help or whatever it is, a body. And then I do my own thing, just trying to come up in the world, trying to gain traction, which has been going good since January. I went from like 500 followers to 900 on Instagram.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, on Instagram, and my Instagram is X_L_Dub, and then from there, like XL Dub is wherever you can find any of the music I do.
Any platform.
Yeah,
any platform.
Mostly R&B. I do got some rap stuff. It's just not released yet.
Oh, damn.
That's exciting.
So tell us, what kind of R&B? Because you got your begging your woman to come back to you R&B, the sorry I cheated on you R&B, hey, I want to prepare you because I want to have sex with you R&B.
It's that one. That's what it is. It's like, let me look at ABC. I was like, that's what
it is. Are we talking Jodeci or are we talking Drew Hill? Like, where does XL do?
Whole different spectrum. Like, I take inspiration from all of them. And then not only that, it's like, so it's so different. Everything, most of my music, I would call it dance R&B because I want you to feel the rhythm, get out there. Yeah, exactly. And it's what I've experienced. Whenever we throw concerts or whatever, people love to dance. They dance to the songs that I make.
They be shaking ass.
Yes.
Well, I think that's spoken like a true artist, right? We create art so that people will have emotions. It's to evoke emotions, and so that's beautiful. That's your intent behind all of it, because that's why you'll be successful. Honestly.
Yeah.
I hope so. But yes, I like to see people having a good time and in the rhythm and get down to moving, and then if it's my music that happens to be doing it, that's a bonus.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the fact that you started off not even talking about yourself. You're like, hey, I support other people. I support different venues, whether I'm working security or checking out their shows. you didn't make it all about me.
I'm gonna
You
do
know?
that. I'm just gonna,
Balance in all things.
Well, you know, I'm just one of many, many people in the world, and the sun sets and rises on all of us, not just
That's
an
a
individual.
beautiful philosophy.
That is
Yeah.
all right, thanks, God.
Getting real deep here.
Make me follow back now.
How would you say you find a balance in doing all of the things that you listed first and tapping into your creative side?
Well, the lucky thing about me going out and supporting other people and being around other people is they help me with my creative side. Honestly,
Could you be talking about collaboration?
Yep, collaborations, whatever it is, you know, just being around the atmosphere. I had quit music for a long time, and when I started volunteering here, I fell in love with it again.
Yeah.
You know, brought me, and so being supportive and being around it actually helps me tap into my creative side myself. That's why I want to be around it as much as possible.
There's actually science behind that.
Yeah.
And when I say
Is there really?
collaborative, yes. Oh my God. Have you ever just been around different people and they're talking about something that resonates with you, and suddenly you have all of these ideas? It stimulates those creative juices. And when I talk about collaboration, that can be as simple as sharing somebody's posts on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So when we get together with a bunch of different artists, we don't have to be like kind of boxed in. Like, well, I don't want to share their thing because I have my own stuff going on and I want
It's like,
people
let's all
to pay
eat
attention to
together.
me.
Let's all,
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the point of all of this. That's how we collaborate.
We do run into that a lot, like where, you know, people are focused on themselves only, and you know, it can be a letdown, but at the end of the day, we got some good people out there too that are doing it for the right reasons.
Like the UFB team.
Yeah,
And
speaking about collaborations, this is a collaboration. So
Thank y'all for coming.
Yeah, you guys are fucking killing it. I hope.
We just
do we
supposed to cuss.
no, you can.
Okay.
Where I think that was really why this was born, is we just wanted people to feel like they have a voice and that they're heard. And even though there seems to be a stigma of like starving artists or like competitive nature, like it's really not like that once you meet people.
Yeah.
Like you meet people and it's like, oh my God, you do this. This is slightly different than what I'm doing. And when you work together, you get more exposure.
Yeah.
You have resources that you can use. Like I don't know, a place to film a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody to take pictures and different artists we've worked with. So.
Oh yeah, and UFB, yes, definitely sets the standard for all of that, because it, you know, it is affordable for people, and you can bring camera crew. Music videos have been shot here. A plethora of music videos have been shot here. Plethora of different events and things like that, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. So yeah, I'm cool with being
Me
around
too,
it.
and I know I've said this on more than one show, but like just talking about setting the standard of an art community or a creative community.
Yeah.
This is the place.
Yep.
And I know. I'm so happy to be here.
It's definitely the place, and the music scene. We'll talk about the local music creative scene in a little bit. What are some of your songs? I just want to throw this out there. What are some of the songs that you have out there that you think people should check out to get the most from it?
Definitely Match My Vibe. That, you know, like that, you know, it's my vibe. It's exactly what it is.
Like right here.
If you want to go
Backtrack.
like,
You can catch my eye.
That's a friend that
she hears me performing every now and then. She better know the words.
I better know.
Otherwise,
that repetition.
otherwise it's like, what you doing over there if you don't know the words already?
Yeah, and then too, like, since I hear it every day, whenever he performs at an open mic or at shows, I'm like, I'm like screaming and getting everyone into
She
the
got my
motion
back.
as well. Yeah.
She got my back.
But that's so good in the creative space, right?
Yeah.
You want that positive feedback that reinforces.
Also, too, especially like open mics or like shows. Whenever it's like starting off, it's like hard to set an energy level. And so it's like, it can't all just be on the artist.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
that's a huge, that's like 78% of it, like, you know, on the artist and how they present their own art. But at the same time, it's like in their room, it's like everyone's like, oh, are we gonna dance? Are we gonna get close to the stage? What are we gonna do? And it's like,
can we clap or
yes,
is it snaps?
yes, so that's what's my favorite thing with the gallery too. It's like I also bring such a huge impact in that, whether I'm actually sitting in the garage, I'm never doing that, or behind the bar, I'm not just making you a drink to get you loose. I'm like, hi, how are you? Oh my God, how are you doing? Hi guys, like I'm in your face and I'm talking about the stage, or I'm up on something behind the bar taking videos, you know, showing that like this is a place to be free.
And that's what I'm talking about as far as UFB setting the standard for that kind of climate. I've been in other venues where it's very much the venue and the people that work there, and even the crowd, they want you to prove your worth.
Yeah,
and at UFB, it's like you get up on stage and people are like, "Oh my God, you're up on stage! Like, let's do
Good
it."
job!
Yeah.
You're only gonna get better with practice.
Exactly.
So and you know, and the thing is there is an element of honesty. We don't just completely tear people down. We tell people if like, hey, you know, this may need to be worked on, but
Sorry.
you're good. But yeah, you know, and I can't go first every night, but a lot of times when I go first on stage, it's you're hyping everybody up, setting the standard.
Yeah.
You're doing that, and
Would you say that we hype the show?
yeah, we hype the show.
That's one of his songs. That's one of his songs.
We hype the show.
Put the plug in there. Art, you do a really great job of that too at Poetry Slam.
Oh, yeah, this
of
guy's
setting the
amazing.
stage, like getting people in it.
He starts shaking ass too. You
Yeah,
shake
that's
ass.
it.
You have to be
do
here to
that
see it.
because it relaxes people who are nervous. It's their first time performing.
Yes.
They're not sure if they want to perform. So I'm like, let me disarm you by embarrassing the fuck out of myself to
Yeah.
make you feel comfortable.
Yes.
That way, like, if he can do that in front of all these people, I can get up there.
Yeah.
Yep, I love
And then
that.
just reading poetry. You're going crazy.
Yeah.
He's going full butt
His
crazy.
ass shaking is poetry in itself.
If you need blackmail material,
And I tell people, I'm like, this is not coffee shop poetry.
No.
You go to the coffee shop, it's all quiet and censored. I'm like, no, we're in a cool artistic venue. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna dance. Tony's gonna set some drinks on her head. She might set them on fire. She don't know.
break the glass.
I might break the glass like I did it.
DJ Squirrel might do something. You know, it's like, we are, you know, one of the cool moments about the last slams, we all start singing Juicy. Everybody in the crowd knows Juicy. And so it's like little moments like that you can't replicate. You have to be there.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the first time Tony's like, hey! I'm like, what? Can I get on stage? I got a porn. I'm like, okay. She came behind the bar and like went on stage and owned that freaking thing. I was like, this ain't her first time doing this. But
I know, we got stars up in the UFC.
yeah, it's cool. Like, you've been on stage, you've been on stage, you've been on stage, I've been on stage. We are truly a family and collaborating to make the show and the experience better for the audience.
And we want a bigger
You don't
family.
get that everywhere. I've been
Want a
in venues
bigger
where
family.
the hosts don't even get on stage. They're over there hiding behind a booth somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, how are you hosting the show from the sidelines?
Yeah.
Art, I've always wanted to ask you, how do you feel about hosting that when it kind of seems like you take yourself out of the spotlight and you're not sharing as much of your own poetry because you're running that? Like, tell me.
I'm glad you asked me that question.
Is that bothering me?
First of all, I'm old. I'm turning 49 next month.
Happy birthday!
Thank
Oh
you.
wait, my fault. Next month.
No,
Next month.
But it's back in the stairs.
I've been in the spotlight for years.
Yeah.
I'm at that point where I want to create opportunities for other people to shine.
That is true artistry though. That is true artistry.
And so that's where I'm at mentally. It's like, hey, I know I'm dope, but we got all these next generation of dope ass people. It's their time to shine.
Yeah.
My ego, I don't need that. I'll go and do something every now and then, but I don't have nothing to prove to anybody at this point in my
Yeah.
life. I'm like, you know what? You're great. I want to provide a platform.
So I feel like what you're saying is the door's open and the stage is open.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Have your moment.
Come on in, y'all.
Come on in, y'all.
The water's nice.
Now we have this force of nature next to you, known as Tonni.
Yes.
Mixologist to the stars.
All the energy that I
dog
have,
mom.
Dog mom. Yes, I have a whole little tribe of wolves in my house. My name's Tonni. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm your local feral rodent. I live here at
They get big out there.
Yeah.
Trademark.
You're a local feral rodent. I've been a bartending, mixology. I've been bartending for 10 years. So to explain that a little bit more, like Daytona Beach itself, it is a huge biker town, huge tourist town. My mom was a bartender, my aunt was a bartender before her, all these things. Daytona Beach Bike Week is huge. My mom was like,
It's in your blood.
It literally,
Yeah.
it's in my blood. I started bartending at 17 years old, and yes, that's illegal. Yeah, I was at this one biker bar. I kicked it its teeth out my very first night, and then yeah, I've been a force to be reckoned with ever since. Since I moved here, I kind of just honed that nature, and it wasn't until I started working at the archives that the archives here downtown Colorado Springs, that I was like, you know what, I'm really good at what I do. I can make you, I can throw some things together. I'm really good at like being who I am. But I was like, there's this people sometimes. So like want to outsmart me because I'm a pretty young dumb girl. Oh my god. And I'm like, how can I tell them to fuck off? But with my knowledge, not like, hey, fuck you, but be like, hey, actually, this bourbon was barrel aged for blah 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 blah. Make you look dumb just by trying to put me down, And it's like I'm just here doing my job, just trying to make you have a good time. And there's just people that want to go out there and just show on you. So yeah, I learned a lot in that journey, and that's kind of how I became the mixologist bartender vibe that I am today. How I got involved with UFB is actually super cool. I won the Elijah Craig cocktail competition.
Oh wow!
Probably like 2 years ago now. And Dawn was actually there with one of the old bartenders who used to work here. And yeah, I surprisingly won. That cocktail was insane. I made a meringue from scratch to use for each cocktail. It was a key lime pie rye cocktail for Elijah Craig. And I like toasted some pistachios on it, did like the whole little meringue on it. It's great, it was super good. But then I walked in here on wild hair like a week later, and Dawn was in here, and he goes, were you at the Elijah Craig competition? I was like, yeah. He was like, you won it, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, here's my resume. He's like, we'll call you tomorrow. I was like, okay. I've been here about 1.5 years now. I ran a cocktail competition here as well. I did a class series here. So my friend Jacob Fund, he's like a brother to me. He's won best cocktail menu. He's a force to be reckoned with in this scene, honestly. But I had him teach a class on how to build a menu in itself, like where to find inspiration from, how to like balance a cocktail menu, all these things. And then I had my friend Shane Baldwin. Shout out Shane. He's like my mentor from the archives. And he is the one that got me throwing things around behind the bar. He's the one that taught me flair. So he taught us a flair class here. If you guys are interested in the flair at all, anyone watching, I do have a whole box of duct tape bottles in our basement. If you guys just want some, just come ask me for them. I'm tired of seeing them. But yeah, I forget where we're going with that, but that's just a little bit about myself.
You hit on something that I thought was really interesting. It sounds like you're continuing to learn your craft. So you didn't just get good at something and then say, well, I'm good at this now. You keep pushing yourself.
I think that anyone that thinks they know everything knows absolutely nothing at all. You were never mastered anything. Like that's why like doctors, surgeons, it's called the study of medicine. It's like, you should never be like, I know everything and this is right and you're wrong. It's like, no, we don't. I can learn from the homeless man outside right now,
I try to teach that to people with art, like, because they'll come into my classes like, I'm not an artist, I'm not good at art, and I use the same example. It's, medicine is a practice, art is a practice, your craft is a practice. That's amazing.
At what point did you decide, I don't want to just be, this person serving drinks, I want to be involved? Because you're very involved in every show and every aspect. What was that transition and what have you learned? What kind of response have you gotten from people?
I think that I've always naturally just been that way. It was never a conscious decision of like, I want to be involved. It's just kind of like, I'm a natural leader. I'm a natural like energy source. And so I've came into contact with like other places that I've worked and blah, blah, blah. And like, it's always love, but it's like, it kind of clashes with other places and other people sometimes. And so it's not that like, it's like I'm not intimidating, you're intimidated sometimes. Like, that's not my problem. It's like, I'm just here. I just exist. Okay?
Well, when you vibrate on a high frequency, if you're with people that vibrate on a low frequency, they actually repel each other.
Exactly. And so it's like people either they hate me or they love me. And the reason that most people hate me is because they hate the way that other people love me. And it's like, I'm just here trying to love. I'm just here trying to spread like a higher vibration, like you said. And that being said, when I came into the UFB setting, I was recognized, and that's kind of how I came into like my role here. And
you felt seen.
I felt seen, and Dawn has really done that for me as well. And it's not only been recognized, but it's also just like brought this entire establishment closer together and brighter. It's like all of us here, we serve our purpose, and it's not just like a, hey, this is your role to do this, and this. It's like it naturally just fell into its own course, and that's what's so beautiful about our family here.
It's become a community, and it seems to flow really organically.
That's what I love about it so much.
I love that. And one of the things we talk about here, and y'all touched on this, both of you, in a lot of ways already, is when we're looking at how do you impact others around you, the community, and so forth. And I love, your response to the last question. So, taking that question, how do you own your impact as an artist? That's a question for both of you.
Mine is kind of simple. I recognize who I am and what I'm capable of, and how much that I want to just do that for everyone. Like, be the person you never have, make me feel seen like I never did. Blah, like as a child, back from childhood trauma. Knowing that, recognize that in myself, and just living authentically through my truth, and that is how I just bring everything together for everyone. Like, it's not a, I'm ADHD.
So just staying yourself.
Just being myself, authentically being myself, and letting it speak for
People
itself.
come in the room, they're like, Tonni!
Yeah. Yes, authentically being myself and doing that. And I feel like that's a big thing that a lot of people search from me, because I am so wild like that, you know?
I think it also just helps people feel empowered
Exactly.
when they come here.
That's what I was trying to go with it. My words weren't working.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm hearing you.
I don't know. I want to give everybody the respect of feeling the same type of dignity or whatever it is that I would want to feel myself. I put myself in other people's shoes, and I've been in positions where I've sang at a concert where there was nobody there at all, and still went through and performed and did whatever. I've been in a situation where I've had the full room. Luckily for me, I've never been booed or anything like that, but if I've witnessed somebody having a hardship or anything like that, I put myself in their shoes and try to give them an understanding or adaptation to work on so that they become better. Same thing we were just touching on earlier. So they have an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. You show them the same compassions that maybe you witnessed not being shown to you.
Exactly. Yeah. There's some. Definitely been through that. Some things have transpired before where it's like, damn. But I wish I had more support.
Yeah, and I love that you've learned from that instead of letting it make you jaded. Because you see some people, and it really lets them make you jaded. But you touched on something that I think is super important, and that's you performed at a place where there weren't a lot of attendees. Okay, so I was listening to a podcast from a well-known artist the other day, and he was talking about, well, how do you measure success as an artist? And how he explained it was, you make commitments and you follow through with them. It doesn't mean you made the most famous painting in the world, but you made a commitment to make that painting for the person that asked for it, and you followed through. And that really struck me when you said that you got up and you still kept your promise to perform. And that's good for you, and it's also good for other people, I think, behind that goal that you were talking about.
No, definitely. And like you were stating earlier, it's about getting better.
Yes.
Everybody getting better, you know?
There's a tarot card. I think it's I'm half asleep right now. But there's a tarot card.
All your energy at half asleep.
Yeah, right. It's a little manic. It's just kind of like I just vibe with it. Anyways, there's I think it's a cup, I think it's a cup card, and it says wealth. It ends with wealth is a concept, and that sentence right there has always stuck with me. And it's just kind of like, you can't take money with you. You can't take, your big ego with you when you leave. So it's like, you might as well, it's like what you leave behind. Wealth is a concept. So it's like, I don't care if my grass is greener than everyone else's lawn. It's like, if I have a green grass, the wealth is talking to my neighbor about how to make his grass greener too. That is wealth. Like what you leave and what you experience, and all of that is more wealth to me than anything else.
For sure. And life is hard. Art is hard. Art entrepreneurship is hard. But just normal everyday life is really difficult. But when we humanize it and we realize we're all just doing this together, it is about all those little moments. Like,
we're ants floating on a rock in space, dude. Let's have a little fun with it.
And all you have to do in life, really, to be a good person is just don't be an asshole.
It's that simple! It's that simple!
No, I was just thinking, while you brought that up, the repetitive nature of things is what makes us better. Whether you're, hey, I want to be the best mixologist in the world, best singer, best artist, whatever you're doing. Malcolm Gladwell, he wrote The Tipping Point. And he was talking about Blue's Clues as an example. It's like they purposely showed the same episode for 5 days straight because that's how little kids learn, by repetition. And growing up, putting that into practice, whether you're a football star or whatever, you have to get on stage and perform. That's why open mics 2 years ago, part of it was the pandemic. There was only 2 or 3 open mics in the city. Now
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
And a lot of times
that's cool to to say too, you kind of set a tone, you know? People want art. People are craving art. And with repetition, for mental health, positive thinking and repetition is how you can actually create new neural pathways that help you be in a better mental state. So life is all about repetition.
That's what you make it so much. Hey, Montana gave us that.
You'll say the open mic. At first, you know, it's always a tipping point where you got the biggest crowd size. And I've been to like comedy shows, for example, or you know, just shows in general where ex's friends and family, they're like, okay, he performed, we're leaving. And then next thing you know, it happens, and then that audience dwindles.
I gotta stop you right there. My friends and family stay the whole time. Because they're my friends and family. I'm here from the beginning to the end, so they stay with me, just so you know.
Okay, so you know his friends and family are there no matter what. If he's first or he's last, they're there the whole show.
I've seen what you're talking about too, though. People, sometimes a performer will get up on stage and they'll be the first one at the open mic, and as soon as they're done, they leave.
So why would anyone else want to support your art? That's everyone else.
Yeah, why were you here for you then?
Stop showing up to shows with the artist and then leaving with the artist when they get up here and they fucking perform for 10 minutes. That doesn't help anything. That doesn't help.
It's clown shit. It's a little clowny.
We're trying to build a community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stay, no matter which open mic it is, because you want to support the whole community. You want to support the venue, buy some drinks, eat some food, whatever the case may be.
Tip your bartender.
Yes, tip your bartender. It takes a lot to get on stage.
It does.
And if people look out, you know, X is a professional. It's like, hey, I committed to performing at this show. I don't care if I got 10, 20, 30, or 1. I'm still doing the best job.
And life happens. So, you know, you can't take off. But if you ain't got shit to do, but you're going to go home and just get high or whatever it is.
Or scroll on Facebook.
Yeah, whatever it is, then what's the point in doing that when you could have supported people? You know, like, you want that same support, but you don't want to give it.
I just want to speak on behalf of the pumpkins, and I am that person. After 10, 10:30, I do turn into a pumpkin. So, but I'm just
like, where's she going with that?
But come and stay as long as you can. But like you said, like life happens, and some of us are just wired to go to bed a little bit earlier.
I mean, you gotta work, you got kids.
But don't just come for one thing, or don't just come for your, you know, come for the community.
There you go. And a lot of people are quantifying it to like, I'm dope, it's me. So I do my thing, and then I'm out, and y'all.
Yes, and cut that whole.
And that's honestly, it's like that is like cancer in the art community. Like, having that mindset is what is like it's setting everything apart.
It's anti-community.
Exactly, and that's where it's like I feel like that's why UFB itself and like this is kind of controversial, but it's like I feel like that's why we've always been, hey, let's all eat together. We've always been, hey, come here, come do this with us. Like, it'll be fun. You know, we make everyone feel welcome in this room, and that's authentically who I am as a person. That's who he is a person. That's who Dot is as a person, and we never have had that mindset, and that's why we are where we are today.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
that's if people want to just come in with that mindset of like, you know what, it's all about me. See how far that takes you.
You're right.
It's not going to take you far. So like you said, it's not that hard to be a good person. Just don't be an asshole. And just be authentically yourself. And like everything will come into line.
Yep. Very inclusive community. I mean, like, and I just see big things happening with UFB. Like, I came here for poetry slam night, and then all of a sudden, like, all these different avenues are just available. It's amazing.
And that's what we're here for.
We got a beer at
Archivita. Archivita is actually owned by the guy that stopped the Club Q shooter. And they made us a beer. Yeah, it is a strawberry lemon kolsch. It is so good. And yeah, so they're doing the thing where they help out or they shout out one local business and take like 2% of the proceeds and give it to a charity.
I love that.
As well.
And what a cool way to collaborate and get the name out about each other. I love that.
Ultrafly Baddie, check it out.
Ultrafly Baddie.
I'm Ultrafly Baddie, but it's not. I tried.
I just want to say Tonni is amazing with mocktails and sober elixirs as well. So like, there's a big heart for the sober community. I'm part of the recovery community, and Tonni has made what was that, coconut strawberry? That was delicious.
One of my things is I look at things and I smell them and I put them in a cup, and It's always different every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, strawberry coconut is another one that I kind of do often. Right now I have blueberries in there, so blueberry coconut lemonade type beats, what I'm on today. But
So
yeah.
the point I'm making is there's something for everybody here.
Yes, there's anything and that's what too, people always are like, they like panic when they come to the bar, and I'm like, what do you normally drink? Do you like sour things? Do you like fresh things? Do you like want to taste your liquor? Do you not want to have any liquor at all? And like, I'll sit there, and that's one of the things that takes from my bartender mixology to, you can teach someone how to make good drinks.
Yeah.
I can give you every recipe, but that's not what makes you a bartender. What makes you a bartender is how you connect.
Yes.
Yeah.
How you,
Very people-centered.
it's very putting on a show, not only, but also, if I can make you a drink and you can walk away and it can be made perfectly, but if that person doesn't enjoy that drink, they're not gonna have a good time.
Right.
Like, this could be not just food for them. And I'm that person, I'm like, do you like it? Is it good? You know, and that's what sets things aside, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
And she also takes good feedback. So
Yeah.
I got a drink that was a little sour. I was like, too sour.
I'm like, let me put some syrup in
boom,
it then.
fix it right up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
hits.
I want you to enjoy it. I don't care if I'm doing a good job. I just want you to enjoy what I gave you. Like, you know?
But you're passionate about the work that you're putting out.
Yes,
That's true of any artist.
Yeah.
You want it to look, your name is attached to it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested to hear about what you guys think about the music scene as far as what you've seen at UFB or other venues that you've been to.
Yeah. I feel like mine's are shorter, so I'll go first and then you can, I'll let you answer.
Honestly, mine's is gonna be short and sweet.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of answered, like, it kind of goes along with the answer I was saying earlier. It's like, when it comes to your artistry, there's people that are looking out for other people as well, and there's people that are just like so about themselves. And so when it comes to the people that are just about themselves, what they're doing, blah, 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 there's no growth there. And that's kind of why the UFB is so different with that. And so with the music scene, especially what I witnessed, the people that actually are growing and moving and are great in my opinion are the ones that don't need to tell you.
Yes.
The ones that are like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm the best in the room. Those are they don't do that because naturally that's just who they are, you know. And
I've personally seen some artists kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
Who have gone their own way, and then it's almost like they forget where they come from. And I'm not saying starting with UFB is starting at the bottom by
No.
any means, but
No.
they get a taste of something that's different, and they're like, okay, screw all
Yeah.
that. And then it's like, okay, well, where are you now?
yeah. As you go.
Yeah, like I said, mine's is short and sweet. I think there's a lot of work that we still need to do with the music community, but we're getting better. You know,
Yeah.
it's all about education. I think we're, like I said, what I'm trying to do with the younger musicians and shit like that is just, you know, educate them in how to be humble and good people as well. Like she's saying, you know, if you're the baddest in the room, you don't gotta fucking say it. You know, you can stay humble. You can stay humble and still have your presence be felt.
Yep. And let your presence be shown through your art, right?
Exactly.
That's a great way for people to remember you by the song you put out or the art that you created, not, oh, I met him, he told me he was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He told me I had this amount of followers.
What was his name?
Yeah.
But see, the way I look at the local music scene, and I'll say the creative scene, 'cause I'm looking at the comedy scene, poetry, music, as
Visuals,
well as visual arts, is yes, you have a lot of ego, which does come along with being any type of artist. Because people, they're gonna wanna, well, oh, I'm the best, but are you humble?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You can think you're the best and be humble at the same time.
Yeah.
And you have some people, they're like, oh, I don't go to open mics, I only do paid work.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you don't have a big following on social media. Nobody's calling you up looking for you for shows, but you're the best.
You're still working your regular 9 to 5
Exactly.
at a call
It's
center.
time to humble yourself, like Kendrick
Exactly.
said. And I look at that and I'm just like, you can't grow if you think you're the best.
Right.
It's okay to be a little cocky, but be prepared to grow
And with
learn.
with
I love
art,
that.
you're never, yeah, I agree, but with art, you're never going to be the sole, the one and only best at anything because there's
Yeah.
so many people on this planet that your poetry might be somebody's flavor and they might not like anything I write, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad poet.
They
That
have
just
different
means they have
tastes.
different, so nobody's ever going to be the best.
I look at Kanye West, for example. Everybody's like, he's a genius, he's a genius. That went to his head.
Right.
Last great album he put out, Dark Twisted Fantasy. Everything else he's put out, it's been okay. It hasn't been bad, quote unquote. But since that label was put on him and he believed it, he stopped growing as an artist.
And I think that's what a lot of artists run into when they start doing art, whether it's the music stuff, whether it's visual arts, when they start doing it for the wrong reasons, then they're not using it for the process that it's intended for.
Yeah.
And so their intentions are skewed, and now they're not going to find the same success. They're not going to resonate with people like you were talking about earlier. People aren't going to evoke emotions with that because people are just doing it, for money, for ego.
Writing trends. And,
Trending, yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I actually was talking about J. Cole's 1985, that song. And it's kind of exactly what you're talking about. Was it Little Pump? I think it was Little Pump that tried to diss it, whatever. And it was like, have you ever thought about your impact, is what J. Cole says in that. And the thing is, like, you're just riding trends, just riding waves. It's like, I went on a tangent. I read every lyric of the song, and I was like slam poetry. I was like, have you ever thought about your impact? And I'm like, but it's like, that's true. Especially like that song is a good example of it. It's like, it's staying true to yourself is what's going to make you big. And like the artists that like don't just have their one peak fame and just die right out, or artists that do that. They stay out of headlines for controversial shit. They come to do what they want to do, spread love and light, and then they go back into their little corner and they come back out.
And you're constantly doing the repetition. You're working on your craft. You're growing.
Exactly.
You're getting education, and that's when you take root. That's where you're gonna leave your legacy, is because you put in the time and the work and the continued growth.
Yes.
You're not that overnight fame is only gonna last.
So
15
yeah,
minutes.
that's why I have respect for J. Cole when he backed out of the whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. And he apologized. People are like, oh, why he apologized? He's like, this isn't the impact
that I want
to leave on my fans. I don't want to be like known to be caught up in beef. That ain't why I make music.
Yeah.
True that. And he also didn't want to end up in Drake's position either.
But see how it all comes full circle. Speaking of full circle, we need to talk about, bring it locally, some of the things that are going on in the local community. We do have a poetry slam October 4th.
Right here.
Black, yeah, right here on this stage.
On this stage.
Wow.
They ain't like us.
Okay, sorry.
It's weird. Poetry beef is way different from scrap beef. You're already vulnerable as it is. But it's like, you don't like my poem.
So poetry slam and costume contest.
Yes, you're gonna have open mic as always, a costume contest. You don't have to perform in the poetry slam or the open mic to be a part of the costume contest.
And vice versa.
And we're just gonna have fun.
Right before that poetry slam, we actually have an art show as well for our new artist of the month. Her name is Lita. She's a close friend of mine. Her art is insanely incredible. And at that art show as well, before the poetry slam, she'll be doing henna of her prints. That'll be super cool too. Just want to plug that.
What time
and the prints will be up the whole.
Yes. So she's bringing something today.
What time will the doors open?
What time is your show?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So yeah, she'll be here around like 3, 4, probably 4.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think the art show will begin at 5.
So yeah, doors at 4, shows at 5, type beat, and then type beat.
We'll be here. It's gonna be a good time. October 26th, we're having Mimosa New Year's.
October 20th is
20th,
Muse.
sorry.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about Pumpkins in the Park first. So Pumpkins in the Park is in Old Colorado City, and they're gonna have different arts and crafts activities. A lot of vendors from OCC are gonna be there, so definitely join that. And then the very next day, October 20th, we have Mimosa Muse, where I'll be doing acrylic painting, and we're gonna do a spooky theme, so probably skulls and stuff. Yeah. And Tonni will be here.
I'll be here.
Nancy's gonna be here.
Tony's gonna come up with our mimosa flight, and she's also making specialty
That's
drinks,
dope.
including sober elixirs.
Sober elixir.
It is.
And October is Arts Month, so it's gonna be cool things happening all over the city. I definitely want you to look it up, and not just this city, all over the country. Just type in October Arts Month in Google or whatever, and you'll find some cool events in the city. So you definitely want to check them out. But I want to thank Tonni, I want to thank X for being here.
Thank you guys for existing, first off, and also thanks for having us.
Where can they find y'all on social media?
First off, you can follow the bar, the gallery here at Ultra Flat Black. It's that simple on Instagram and on Facebook. For me personally, you can find me at _TONNIRAEG. Yeah.
Good job. I'm proud of her for slowing down. Before I shout out my Instagram again, October 26th, we actually do have a music event hosted by Ray G. $10 tickets. Come through, costume event as well. Hope to see you there.
Two costume contests. I'm so excited.
Hey, October's gonna be going crazy. And also shout out to the, that's why I wore pink for this little podcast, breast cancer awareness. 'Cause that's October as well. Shout out to that. And then yes, X_L_dub on Instagram. Just XLDub everywhere else.
And we are Creative Takeover. You can find us on YouTube right now. We're going to be other places, but Art and I are both on Facebook. So.
We're all